Welcome back to another Sister Scoop where we will be giving you Marvel news in very quick succession. And we're going to hit right into our first topic of the day. T, go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, so first topic for all you Guardians fans will be a good one, which is that Zoe Saldaña is really pushing for Marvel to get back on the Guardians horse and get that new roster out there. She has acknowledged that she's probably not going to come back, and reprise her role as Gamora, but she just wants to be out there cheerleading for the next Guardians, whatever that may look like, though we've gotten a pretty good hint. And I just love that. I love that she's still continuing to support the franchise and all that it stands for, even though she's probably not going to be part of the future of it.
I kind of hope she will be in its own way. Like, I hope her being such a cheerleader, not necessarily as far as she was, obviously, in the first three as involved. Also, I don't think the storylines need her to be that involved anymore, but I think it'd be cool to
Agreed.
kind of see her just make a return here and there. How many times do we get cameos of, especially in space, of random characters we have seen in one other movie? So I would love to see her being such a cheerleader come back and make that return. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I just know that, I think it's pretty clear that we're kind of done with Gamora. So
Yeah.
it would be great to see her kind of come in as that mom figure, even though she's not the mom figure anymore. But that's pretty much it for that one. Just a fun little maybe kick in the pants for Marvel to hopefully bring back the Guardians sooner rather than later. I know I'm excited about the new roster, so I think it could be really fun whenever that does come down the road. But the biggest news I think for the week is our middle one, which is right smack dab in the middle of what we're covering on the podcast, which is X-Men 97 has been confirmed for a third season. So not only do we know that they are, I think, pretty much done with the second season
Yep.
already, even though we're only like a third of the way, almost halfway through season one. But now they have confirmed they are working on a third one, which is so exciting because if you've listened to any of our most recent podcast episodes, you know that Kate and I are in love with this show, just like pretty much everybody else who watched it. I mean, those first two episodes getting 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, very rare.
Yeah.
So I think everybody's pretty much enamored and definitely excited for this season three announcement.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited. I'm a little shocked. I don't know if shock's the right word, but I am a little thrown off because we don't have a season two yet. Like, I really feel like, we saw What If, and What If is out here, and we never know when we're getting new seasons. And then they drop at random, and you're just kind of like, oh, I guess they're always working on What If in the background. We just never know. And then here we are with X-Men. They're like, actually, we're good for season three already. Catch us. We'll be announcing season six in a month. Like, that is how I feel. It is so fast, but I'm excited, and I've loved the show, as you said. Like, we've been such big fans of the return of X-Men. Well, now it's X-Men 97, but I can't wait. I'm so happy. And also, I hope that means we get them sooner rather than later.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, knowing that they're already in development, I give me one a year. Like I'm good with that. And we're probably going to get some X-Men related news this year at Comic-Con or at the Disney Expo. I forget what the name is off the top of my head, but we're probably going to get some X-Men related news at one of the two big conventions this year. So knowing that we're going to have live action, give me a date for season 2 and then
Yeah.
give us kind of our parallel one that we've been really nostalgic and really loving and really, get growing closer to over the last couple weeks, especially if you've spent the month or so beforehand rewatching the first series, like we did. I'm still working on it, to be honest.
Oh my
But,
gosh.
I know I only get like one episode in a day. It's been a very busy couple of weeks, but I think we've all kind of really grown to love and connect with these characters. And so I love kind of having these as like our background comfort characters and then hit me in the face with like a brand new live action MCU in it cast to see how the MCU proper takes on the X-Men. Because obviously we've seen it done, you know, sort of in a connected way via 21st Century Fox. So I'm all here for it. They've done so good so far. So I'm like, yeah, sure, you've earned your season 3. I'm down.
Yeah, I agree with your sentiment there. And honestly, I think you might have said it before, and I can't remember. One of us said it. This has kind of been acting as like a little school book, honestly, for us. If you're not willing to read the comics, or you just are scared and you don't really want to try and get involved, especially in an X-Men comic. I feel like I wouldn't even know where to start there. So it's been
There's
really
like
nice
70 years of lore.
well, that
It's so
exactly that's what
long.
I mean. Like there's so much there. So there've been nice little like summaries almost. And if you want to keep putting those out, letting other people learn the storylines, and some especially some of the big ones, and then, we do go with a live action, I think it's genius doing that. And it's also super entertaining. So you get an A+ for that too.
Yeah, best of both worlds for sure.
Oh yeah.
But moving on to our last topic, which is one that I'm excited about, and I may be in the minority on this one. But Finn Jones recently put out an Instagram story that had a lot of people pretty interested. I'll say that. I don't know that everybody was excited, but people were definitely interested because in his bag that he was showing, he had an Iron Fist comic where he is on the cover with Power Man, which is AKA Luke Cage. And so a lot of people were really excited, thinking this is maybe a hint that he's going to. A lot of people were talking about how this might hint that he's reprising his role. If you've watched the Defenders universe or were in the MCU discussions during that time, you know that Iron Fist is probably the lowest on most people's totem pole of shows. I personally would also put it there. I actually liked season 1. I don't know if that's just me. And then I had trouble with season 2. But I know a lot of people really find that to be their least exciting. But I personally wouldn't be upset if Finn Jones, came back in, knowing that we're now bringing back obviously Daredevil, and I would love to see the rest of them as well. So let's bring the whole gang back together. And if this is a hint, I'm down.
Yeah, as someone who doesn't quite have that connection yet because I haven't had the chance to get started on my binge of that because we had to watch all of X-Men, I don't feel any feelings yet about this. But I will say, I think if you're bringing them all back, then bring them all back. It's all or nothing, in
Agreed.
my opinion. I think it's dumb to pick and choose, especially as I feel they've been greenlighting more and more of them. So honestly, just call it a day. You've already said they're all in the MCU now. You've given that okay. Just bring them back. Let them return. Why recast? What's the point? I think that's a lot of extra work for no reason.
Agreed. I do agree on that point. I think one of the articles I was reading did point out that he's no longer Iron Fist. At the end of his season, he does give away the mantle to Colleen Wing. So Danny Rand is no longer Iron Fist. So you could theoretically have an Iron Fist show with Colleen taking on the mantle. It's more of like a Captain America type deal than it
Okay.
is like Peter Parker is Spider-Man, with the exception of Miles Morales, who we love dearly. In every iteration, it's a version of Peter Parker. Obviously, we know we've had multiple Captain Americas. It's more of a mantle, or like Black Panther, right? You've had different generations of Black Panther. It's more of a mantle than it is necessarily like one person. So the
Okay.
article I was reading was like, just bring back Colleen. That's also an option. But Colleen's actress, whose name escapes me, was not the one posting an Iron Fist art comic. So we'll see. I don't know. It's all up in the air. Maybe he's just making a bid for it and wants to come back and is trying to show Marvel, or maybe he's hinting. Nobody really knows.
Well, and the multiverse is open, right? I mean, technically speaking, it doesn't have to go down that way in whatever version of Iron Fist comes in. Maybe we don't get the full Netflix version, but we get one similar played by the same actor. And I'm okay with that too.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, we could go to another universe where he's still Iron Fist, whereas on 616, it's Colleen. Totally
Exactly.
awesome. There are so many options. I love when we get to. Okay, you guys know I have a love-hate relationship with the multiverse, but in this case, I love when we get to bring in crazy off-the-wall options because the multiverse allows us to do that. Other times I'm like, ugh, time travel. So, mixed bag.
Listen, we all feel this way. Don't worry. I think that's a sentiment we all feel. But that has been a fast Marvel news this week. Still a lot happening. X-Men still going on. So make sure you guys are watching that and come back next week for another round of Sister Scoop.